Welcome back to my channel. Here is a place we can talk about disability inclusion to spread awareness and make the world just a little bit brighter. My name is Janelle, and today I'm wearing a dark gray sweatshirt with the words Shriner University on the front in red and yellow lettering. That's the college that I went to. And today I want to make this video specifically for those that may be parents of a child that's newly diagnosed, or you are somebody who is newly diagnosed yourself, and just kind of talk about what that process is like, because I know it seems really scary, and I know it seems like a lot, and I know it seems really overwhelming, so I want to be able to try to help you through with a bit of knowledge that I have. So I know when you're newly diagnosed or just figuring something out and get word from a doctor or a clinician that you or your child has fill in the blank, whether that's autism, whether that's cerebral palsy, whether that's any type of chronic condition, whether that's an autoimmune disorder, whether that's a mental health condition like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, whatever that may be. I know that it's very overwhelming, especially if it's in a world or in a specific area that you have no idea about. If the doctor says that your child is deaf or has hearing loss and you've never met a deaf person before, then of course, it's like, oh, what do? I have no idea. It all seems scary, and that's okay. I don't want to give you the cliche, it's going to be okay, everything's going to be all right, because that's not comforting. Like, in reality, it's not. So instead, I will say that it may seem overwhelming right now. It may seem like a lot to handle right now, but it won't always be. So I'm not saying that everything is 100% great, everything's going to be okay, because I don't know, specifically what you're going through. I don't know what that's like or what your child is going through, but I do know that the initial shock of everything, or the initial just news and deep diving and Googling and looking into, a new world, or just based off of the stereotypes that you may know, or the things that are shown in media, is kind of how we see that certain disability, or how we see that certain condition. Like, I know that that's super scary, and that can seem like this is a lot for me to handle. I don't know, but I will tell you that it's something that won't always be as overwhelming, and won't always be super scary, and won't always be like too much. There are good days, there are also bad days. That is the reality of dealing with a disability, dealing with a condition, but it's not gonna forever be this overwhelming. It's not going to forever be this challenging, because as you grow, or as your child grows, you guys will learn more. You'll learn what works for them. You'll learn what works for you. What doesn't work for them, you'll learn what doesn't work for you. And it will be less overwhelming. The second thing I would say is that you are allowed to mourn. Most people think, what do you mean? Like, it's okay if you are a parent, and naturally you kind of start to assume what this life will be like for your child, or if it's you naturally think about what you want to do from now to when you're 30, to when you're 35, when you're 80, when you're 85, and then maybe this new diagnosis or this new knowledge of a condition that you or your child has feels like all of that is now not possible. And it's okay to mourn that. You don't have to feel guilty for mourning that. It is a natural part of the process of healing and of dealing with whatever condition or disorder or disability that you're dealing with. I know for some people, I've done a lot of work with children with autism, and I've heard a lot of parents say that they had to, kind of mourn and be sad. And it's for them, they've stated it's not always a one-time thing, like, oh man, I'm sad because I thought that we would be doing X, Y, and Z together. period. I'm happy. No. For them, it has been, I have heard stories of something new pops up every day. You know, you take your kid out to the park to have fun and you see other kids who are maybe neurotypical or maybe in the larger percentile for whatever stage they're at developmentally, and they just feel like it's a constant reminder of where their kid is lacking or where their kid is not at, oh, these kids are the same age as my kid. Why isn't my kid doing X, Y, and Z? Of course, I know why, but it's something that may pop up throughout this process, and that's okay. It's not, you're not a bad parent or you're not a bad person for feeling like you can be sad for the image that you thought of what your life was going to be like, or the image that you thought what your child's life was going to be like. I'll tell you, even if you don't have a disability, or if your child does not have a disability, we always imagine what something is going to be like, and then it doesn't go that way sometimes, or most of the time, and we have to learn to say it's okay. That could be, think about like life decisions, trying to figure out what you're going to do in life, career-wise, going to school right away, not going to school right away, going to school at all. People, they have this picture in their head of what life will be like, and this does not always happen that way, and people mourn that. They're like, oh man, I really thought, I was gonna, whatever, finish school by this age, and I didn't. And even that little sad moment, that's a normal and natural process of life, of healing, of moving on, and of accepting the new reality. And so the same goes for you. The same goes for you with your child, mourning the image of what you thought their life would be like or what you thought your life would be like. And that's okay. The third thing I would say is for sure, to find and connect with other people that are experiencing the same thing. So if you're, most of the time, you'll find support groups for a specific condition or disability, and they might kind of split it up between like parents or siblings, because they're not the person that has a disability, but they're definitely affected by it, throughout your day. Everything might have to change because of the person's diagnosis. And then they also have those support groups for those that do have that diagnosis. And so I definitely recommend that, you look into that. I know for me, dealing with Tourette syndrome and realizing, hey, this is something that I think is happening to my body. It was so helpful for me to be able to connect with others that also had Tourette syndrome and also had tic disorders. And because I didn't always know it was Tourette syndrome, I did think it was a tic disorder at first. But it was good to know, like, people that are actually dealing with it, and they get it. They get what it's like to be in the world with people who have a certain image, bias, or stereotype in their head of what Tourette syndrome looks like. And it was so helpful for me to be able to go and just say, like, there was even things people, as I talked to people they would say things, and I'm like, oh yeah, I think I deal with that too, or oh yeah, I've noticed that. It just helped open my eyes to even more things, more similarities, and then you don't really feel as alone, So I definitely think that is really important, to find others that may be going through the same thing. Now, I will say there is a difference between, maybe a parent support group where, let's say, found out your child has Down syndrome and everybody in the room has children or children that have grown up that have Down syndrome. There's a difference between a person that is there for you to openly show your feelings, share your mourning and everything, and discuss it and talk about it and help each other. Between that and let's just all have a pity party with no hope. Nobody wants to do that. Like, every single time you chat with these people or meet with these people and there's no, like, hey, we're trying to deal with this at school. Anybody experience this? Like, you need things like that too. Yes, you do need your time to mourn, of course, but not just a pity party all the time, every time, because then that will naturally be reflected onto your child, and then they will feel sorry for themselves. And there's tons of successful people with Down syndrome, for example, in all kinds of careers, as chefs, as models, as Olympians, as all kinds of stuff. So you need a good balance, you know? You need that balance of, yes, I am mourning or dealing with this, and oh, this is really tough, other parents don't get it, but also, like, how did y'all deal with this? Or does anybody know about blah, blah, blah? They're both very important and both helpful. Like I said, I know it seems really, really overwhelming right now, but it will not always be this way. You're not a bad person for feeling the need to mourn or be sad about a picture or an image you had in your head of what your life or what your child's life would be like, and now it seems really different, especially if it's a new condition or something you've never even heard of before. But like I said, it will not always be this overwhelming. Connect with people, find yourself connections, follow people online. There's tons of people online that are doing advocacy work now and spreading awareness. Find those people and follow those people, because it's good to have that, I guess, in your corner, something to reflect back on, to look back on, for those times that you feel like, nah, like I don't got this today, or those times that you feel like, you know, we'll never get past this issue. Yeah, it's very important. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. I am here. If I don't know the answer, I can direct you to somebody that I think does have the answer. But I hope this was helpful. Please do like, comment, and share this post. Specifically share it to other people that might be dealing with this, that their kid might have a new diagnosis that the family's trying to deal with, or you yourself have a new diagnosis, or you know a friend that has a diagnosis that they're trying to wrap their head around. And I hope that this was helpful. And I hope that this was something that you guys could take away and, you know, kind of give you a little bit more peace if you're feeling really overwhelmed right now. Also, don't forget to subscribe so we can spread awareness and make the world just a little bit brighter. Shine bright.